everyone, welcome back for another video. Thank you so much for watching my videos and following my journey for the last 2 years. I've been sharing my journey online about my transition from petrol and diesel across to my first electric car, the Kona Electric. And I've shared with you all the good things, all the bad things, all the ups and all the downs. And today's video, do you know, I don't quite know whether this is an up or a down. I'm sat here in the Kona behind a combine harvester in Norfolk doing 20 odd miles an hour, so I thought I'd turn the camera on and record this video while I've got time. It doesn't look like it's going to be turning off anytime soon. Basically, I'm selling the Kona. I have considered selling the car before, I have put it up for sale before, but you know, it was only tentative and I wasn't really serious. At the time I was considering buying a smaller EV, less expensive EV, and I needed to generate some money, and I was just tempted by the high prices of the Kona, so I never went through with that. But this time the car's up for sale for real. It is going to be sold, and I will be moving on to another car. I'm not going to talk about what that might be in the future. I'll save that for later. I will share with you, but just not today. So today, this Kona Electric is up for sale, and there's no reason for the sale really, other than I've got an itch to try something different. I've had the car for 2 years. It's been a fantastic car. I've sort of cheated, haven't I, owning my first electric car and making it a Kona Electric, because I hardly charge this thing, and I've got so much space in the battery, 64 kilowatt hours to store the solar energy, that I can do all of the charging that I need from home, so I don't need to charge out. I hardly have a public charge. I think I worked out 1 year I spent £17 on electricity for the entire year, 12,000 miles or so, somewhere between 10 and 12,000 miles. But £17 for a whole year's fuel is just incredible. This car has just made driving an EV so easy. It has felt like I've been cheating, like everyone else is struggling and having to go in public charge, having to plan the journeys more, having to have a bit of range anxiety, and I've just coasted along and haven't had any of that. This car really does make it easy, and I guess it's how all EVs should be. Ultimately, they should have a lot of contingency, but it does make you think, how much contingency do you need? If you arrive at your destination and you've got 50 miles spare range, you know, that's nice. But if you arrive and you've got 40, does it make any difference? If you arrive and you've got 30, does it make any difference? It's how much spare contingency do you want? And in this car, what I find is I've got so much spare contingency, I never actually use the real capacity of the battery, except for the very, very odd long journey that I do, or testing for videos. So this car really doesn't get used to its potential. I charge this mostly till about 80%, and then only go down as low as about 30-ish% before recharging. And again, it's only rare times that I go beyond that. So we're talking between 80% and 30% typically. And often it's 80 to 40%, so I'm only using 40 to 50% of this 64 kilowatt hour battery. So it's a great car. It's a great facility. I don't make the best use of it, that's for certain. It is the best car I've ever owned. It is so fast, 200 horsepower, the instant torque, so much fun popping it into normal or sport mode and spinning up the wheels, doing some fast takeaways at the lights, driving along normally, then deciding you just want to go a little bit faster, and the cars in the rearview mirror just disappear. The overtaking ability in the car is just second to none, yeah, apart from other electric cars that are really fast, of course. So yeah, the Kona has been a great car for me. It's the right size, it's nice and nimble around the city, it's extremely efficient and economical. I've just driven from Norwich, I'm on the way to Fakenham on a main A road, and apart from being stuck behind a combine now, I'm averaging 6.3 miles per kilowatt hour. And this road is, you know, it's a 50 mile an hour road, it's 60, but mostly people are driving around 50. So what on earth am I doing driving across the city at 30 miles an hour, coming out on an A road, driving consistently at about 50, and getting 6.3 miles per kilowatt hour? It's almost as if this car has just been run in. Is that a thing? Could this car now be more efficient after I've used it than it was when it was brand new? Has it loosened up a bit? Have I extracted a little bit more out of the battery? Is any of that possible? I don't know, but for whatever reason, right now, it is summer, super efficient. And ever since really that I did that test where I achieved an actual driven range of over 380 miles, that has, I don't know, the cars just seem to constantly do 6 point something miles per kilowatt hour, and even 7 point something on some days. You know, that is 20 to 30 mile an hour driving around the city and country roads though, so you know, don't get confused, it's not real world driving. This is real world driving for Norfolk, stuck behind a combine harvester, but getting 6.4 miles per kilowatt hour is out of this world. So, you know, back to why am I selling this car? No, the car hasn't got any faults, everything works on the car. No, I haven't pranged the car, it's never had a dent, a scratch, a scuff. The car is absolutely immaculate. There's a couple of stone chips on the front, but yeah, you can't see them and you can't really photograph them. Damn, I did get a stone chip on the windscreen though last week, so that's got to be repaired. I've got to call Auto Glass and have them repair that. But this car is immaculate, and it's testament to Hyundai, I think, that the interior still feels tight, still feels new. The seats, apart from a little creasing down some of the bolsters, which happened after about a week of owning the car, apart from that, everything looks absolutely as it did brand new. It feels as it did brand new. Nothing's broken, all the switchgear's fine, everything works, nothing's come loose, nothing's faded. The car is probably better now than what it was new. It's had all the updates done, all the health and safety stuff, all the checks on the battery, and I've recently done a range test to prove that there's been no degradation on this battery at all. So one of the things that I would think about is if you were thinking about buying an e-Soul, a Nero, a Kona, if you're thinking of buying one of those new, why wouldn't you buy one second hand? Because you're going to save, well, for this, 6, 7, yeah, maybe even £8,000, depending on what deal you get out of me. This is an incredibly cheap car for what it is. It's just like the brand new one. It's that many thousands of pounds cheaper, but it's the same range, it's the same power, it's the same capability, the same technology. The screen's a little bit smaller from a brand new one, and you only get single phase charging, but you don't get any of the hassles because there are some faults with the new Kona that's come out and the Nero, isn't there? That they're not charging like they should do, and there's a little bit of worry about the 3-phase charging and how it works. So yeah, having a new one is a nice feeling, having a new car, but if I was now going back 2 years and I had the choice between a brand new one or this one, I'd buy this one, hands down. You know, why spend the extra money when I've suffered the depreciation? Well, some of it, the price has actually gone up. But, you know, why suffer the depreciation yourself when you can have the car and it's the same condition? I'll make sure I clean this and have it valeted to an inch of its life before somebody else gets it. It'll be fully sanitised and ready to go. So anyway, reason for posting this video and sharing is to update you that that's what I'm doing, but also to say, you know, if there is someone out there that is watching these videos and you're looking for an electric car of this sort of specification, send me a message on Twitter or on the Facebook Kona group or through here on YouTube, and if you're interested, I'll respond to you and we'll see what we can do. It's better surely to buy private than it is to buy through a dealership, and this is one of the things that I really dislike about second-hand car sales, that if I sell this car to a dealer, if I trade this in, they're going to ask for about £6,000 to £7,000 profit margin. £6,000 to £7,000 is what profit margin they want to make. So if I sell this instead to a We Buy Any Car type service, they'll give me more money than a dealer will for trade price. But all they're going to do is put it into an auction, sell it, and make a profit. So somebody else, another dealer of some description, is going to buy the car probably for that profit margin that the We Buy Any Car service is going to make, and then they're going to sell it on again and make another profit. So the poor retail person is going to have 2 other sets of people in there making a profit, or a single dealer making a fantastic amount of profit. And that really shouldn't be fair, should it? When I first bought this Kona Electric, the dealership I think had a margin of about £1,800 that they were given by Hyundai to sell this car, or to process the selling of this car. So that's what they made on the sale of this car. That's not a lot of money, is it? But 6,000 to 7,000 profit on a used car. Is that why dealers are having to make those sort of profits on used cars? Because there isn't such a margin in the new ones anymore. I don't know what's going on, but I would not want to buy a car from a dealership used, knowing that they've fleeced the person they bought it from. They don't really care about the condition or what's happened to it. All they want is to get it as cheap as possible and sell it to you for as much as possible. And I really don't like that. They don't know anything about the car. The warranty that you get is exactly the same as the warranty you'll get from me, which is Hyundai's warranty. Hyundai warrant the car, the battery, the drivetrain, all of those things. So they're not offering you anything new. They're not going to offer you any extra servicing. They're not going to offer you anything whatsoever. Let's go for it. That's one half of the convoy overtaken. Just a tractor to go. So if dealers aren't going to offer you anything extra, why would you want to buy from them? Yes, they offer you finance deals, but they're only offering you finance deals because they want to make a commission profit out of it for you. There's the nice torque overtaking. Do enjoy that with the Kona. So yeah, dealers, they're not offering you anything different apart from the convenience that you can go in, talk to a person, and they'll sell you a finance plan. The fact that you could probably get the finance yourself if you shopped around cheaper than through a dealership is another matter, and if you buy the car cheaper as well. And also, you know the history of the car. If this goes for sale at a dealership, the dealership probably won't even know anything about the videos of it online, won't know the history, won't know whether it's well cared for. The person buying it will be buying it blind, and again, it just doesn't make sense, does it? Why not buy from somebody that understands the car, knows the car's history, can tell you everything about it, and give you a really good understanding of how to use the car before you obviously set off in it as well. It's this, I don't know, with an electric car especially, I think buying private or buying through someone like Jonathan Porterfield at ecocars.net, that's the right way to go, I think, in the future for buying electric cars. The main dealerships, I just don't think their heart's in it, apart from screwing you for as much money as they can. So I truly hope this car sells to a private person, and that, I guess, is the point to putting this video up, on the off chance, the small off chance, that one of you are interested in buying this car. Not so I make more money. I'm happy to sell it to you for the same sort of price that I'm going to get through one of the online deals. I'm not trying to make a huge amount of profit out of the car, just a fair price. But I'd rather somebody else got a really good deal, a fair deal, and loved having their electric car as well. So yeah, I hope somebody that watches these videos buys it. But if you don't, it'll get sold, and the next car will be coming along. I haven't really told you much about the car so far. I guess if you're watching these videos, you probably know all about the Hyundai Kona anyway. But this is the top of the range, the Premium SE. It's got the full LED lights at the front, which are fantastic at night. It's got the heads-up display. It's got the full leather, electrically adjusted, heated and ventilated passenger and driver's seats. So it's got all that high-tech spec. It's got heated steering wheel, heated seats, fully automatic climate control, sat-nav system, which is recently updated. I actually like the update that they put into the sat-nav. It's not just maps that's changed, but the software. That is really good. But the big thing that you're buying is the efficiency. 6.5 miles per kilowatt hour up to now, including my overtaking, etc. This car is just so economical and so good for range. There's just nothing out there to touch it. The fact that you can get close to, and sometimes better, an Ioniq's range is really, really, it's voodoo, isn't it? How the hell do Hyundai make a car this efficient when Honda can't? A car company the size of Honda, what are they doing that they can't mix a electric motor, a battery, and a regenerative braking system in a small car and make it more efficient than this, a crossover SUV? What is it that Hyundai do in their drivetrains that the others just can't? And I don't know. Somebody told me it's the stator. So if you want to Google what a stator is in an electric motor configuration, then you know, maybe that's it. But I honestly have not got a clue as to what they do. To me, it feels a bit like the regen. It feels like the Kona and the Ionic are just very good at regen. I do wonder with some of the manufacturers, the car manufacturers, when they're bringing cars out, and let's use the Honda E and Honda as an example. I would almost say that's Honda's first electric car. Someone's no doubt going to tell me that, you know, years and years and years ago they did launch something that was an electric car, but they've launched this one, and this feels like it's their first one because they don't have any other production models that they're selling. And yet, have they really just covered up, you know, a Lego car? Have they bolted together some motors and a battery and a bit of this and a bit of that, and then just put it in a body shell that looks really, really stunningly different, and put loads of tech in to make you focus on that rather than what's underneath? Is that what they've done? And they've done that as a holding position while they work out what sort of motors and drivetrain they're going to put in? Because surely someone like Honda obviously know what Hyundai have done. They obviously know the capabilities of Hyundai and Kia cars, and yet they've sold a car whose their technology is so far behind, it's just unreal. So what they've sort of done with the Honda E is covered it up. They've sort of masked that the actual technology for the electric drivetrain is so poor. They've covered it up with something that's extremely sexy and interesting and technologically advanced on the electronic side of things. And I find that sort of sad that you've got a lot of these manufacturers that are putting out holding cars. Now, you know, the Hyundai Ioniq was sort of a holding car because they didn't sell that many of them, but they put their wholehearted effort into making the car efficient, and their story was, yeah, the shape's efficient, the drag coefficient's efficient, you know, the size of the wheels, the size of the battery, the weight, everything's aimed towards, they wanted to make an efficient electric car. That's clearly what Hyundai like doing. You know, they want efficiency out of their drivetrain. And yet then you look at the Honda E and you think, well, they've got these cameras in the car, and those cameras replace wing mirrors. Well, wing mirrors are aerodynamically poor, aren't they? So therefore putting just cameras there and putting a screen on the inside of the car improves the aerodynamic efficiency. Well, why even bother attempting to do that if your car is that inefficient and you haven't got efficiency as a key thing that car's going to deliver? That car's not efficient, so why add a little efficiency thing? It's not about the efficiency whatsoever. It's about the technology. And I guess that's what we've got with these hybrid cars as well. I just see a Ford Puma drive past, and it reminds me of the hybrids that they sell for those. You know, they bung a battery in and call it a hybrid. It's just a holding car because they don't have electric cars. It's just so that they can say it's electrified and, well, basically con you into buying one, thinking you're being environmentally friendly and it's going to give you really great fuel efficiency, when it's not. It's not efficient. That's the same as the Toyota cars, isn't it? You know, what on earth are Toyota doing? I can only believe that Toyota are selling these hybrids and continue to sell them because they've convinced themselves that it's the right thing to do. But it's just absolute rubbish, because it's not the right thing to do. It's the only thing they can do because they haven't got the right EV technology and the right EV production capabilities to sell electric cars. So they're selling you what they can build, and they're just marketing it in a way that makes you think it's the right thing to buy. Anyway, enough about other cars. That was all I wanted to share with you. So I'm going to turn the camera around and let you enjoy some of these lovely Norfolk country roads. I will confess that as I set off today, I was starting to think that a drive like this, which is actually a drive to the Necton services in Norfolk, which has got some 150 kilowatt ultra chargers from Instavolt. I'm taking the car there to test what the charge rates are on the car now that it's had the BMS updated. Some of you might be aware that there have been a few messages online talking about this BMS update where Hyundai have changed lots and lots of the software in the car, including going through a check of the high voltage battery. And some people in Europe have reported that they're getting charging rates that are better. 50 kilowatt charging rates apparently. The car's charging at higher rates for longer into further higher state of charge. But also some people, when the software doesn't appear to be installed correctly, are getting really slow charge rates on ultra chargers. They're getting 30, 32, 35 kilowatts and it doesn't increase. So today I've left the car down at 38% state of charge. That's what I set off with. Just like the Mini and the Honda E, I'm getting used to setting off with just 100 miles of range. It's very, very odd. But anyway, I set off with only 38% of charge so that I get to this charger nice and low. We're currently at 27% state of charge, so probably going to get there under 25%. I don't know how many miles we are away, 10, 20 miles, something like that. But it'll be a good test to see whether the BMS update has or has not impacted charge rates. If I can get to see 60, 70 kilowatts on that charger, which I did on the Instavolt and the Ionity charger before the update, then I'll know that when the update's installed properly, then obviously it doesn't affect those high charge rates. But if I only get 30, 35, then yeah, there is a bit of a problem with that update, that it's not working. So that's what I'm out on the journey for. But it crossed my mind as I set off that this could be one of my last journeys. Every journey now that I take in the car could now be my last journey. It could sell. Because if someone says they want to buy it, I'll sell it. And yeah, I don't have the next car on the driveway. It's not ready to be delivered as yet, but the Kona will go. So I'm out today enjoying it. It was beautiful sunshine as I set off. It's a little bit grey at the moment, but temperature-wise, we're doing well outside. It's 22 degrees outside. Battery temperature is 21 degrees, according to my little OBD dongle down here. Range on the car says 84 miles. So I set off with, I think it said 103 or 106 as I set off. So I've used 20 worth of range, but I've travelled 38 miles. This car's just incredible. It really is incredible. If you need range, if you want efficiency, and you don't want the hassles of charging and all those sort of issues, you've got to get one of these cars. You really have, because it's such a great experience. It's fun to drive, it's spirited, it nips around the corners really, really well. You know, whether you're squealing around a corner or whether you're putting your foot down, even in eco mode, it's extremely good fun to drive this car. And it doesn't go light as you go over a brow of a hill. The car's heavy enough, then the weight's all low down. It does handle really well. Seats are soft and comfortable. It's absolutely lovely. A little bit harder braking there. So it doesn't matter whether you're going to drive quickly or leisurely like I do most of the time. This car is great fun and it's really comfortable. So I'm so tempted to tell you what I'm going to go for, but I'm not. I'm not going to share it with you. But you might be surprised. You might be surprised. It might not be something you've seen me test. You know, what if I've hidden it from you and I've tested it and not shared it? What if this other EV out there, and I've got a cracking deal from them because they'd like to see a YouTuber drive it? What if there's another EV you haven't thought about? Anyway, I'll leave that thought with you. What might I be changing my car for? So I think I'll sign off there and concentrate on the road, but I'll probably do another short video when I get to the charger to cover those charging rates and share that with everyone. As always, thanks for watching everyone, thanks for sharing these videos and subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, I really don't understand why you haven't, because you keep watching the videos, don't you? So you might as well subscribe. Take care, see you again soon. Bye for now.